I told you, Stephanie White. I said, hey, you need to go zone to stop that Alicia Gray nonsense, and look what happened. Look what happened, man. Oh, my goodness. Hey, we turned the Atlanta Dream into the Atlanta Comas. I told you that zone to work. Hey, man, you know I stay in Atlanta. We all about the zones, repping zones out here. I know about the zones. Come on now, I told you. Hey, you got to give
that energy right there. That's not just excitement about a regular season win. That's relief. That's vindication. And if you listen closely to what he's saying about zone defense and Alicia Clark getting shut down, you're watching someone who called exactly how this game would play out before it happened. The Indiana Fever just turned the Atlanta Dream into what he's calling the Atlanta Comas, and the way this victory unfolded reveals something crucial about how this team is evolving down the stretch, because here's what makes this win significant. The Fever were missing two of Atlanta's key players in Ryan Howard and Jordan Canada, sure, but this wasn't about who was absent. This was about Indiana finally executing the defensive adjustments that have been missing all season. Stephanie White made the zone switch that completely neutralized Alicia Clark's dominance in the paint, and the result was a 95-91 victory that showcased exactly what this roster is capable of when the coaching staff makes timely adjustments.
Caitlin Clark, how many points did you have? Hold on, I'm not even gonna play around, man. I'm not even gonna play around. 26 points. 26 points with 9 assists and 3 rebounds. Had 5 TOs, but I ain't caring about that. We came with the win, man. We came out with the dub. And then let me tell you this. Kelsey Mitchell, another 20 points. Another 20 points. You cooking like that? Now, you were going a little crazy with some of those attempts. But that was a great nail-in-the-coffin layup you made at the end of the game in OT. Shout out to you. Oh, my goodness. Aaliyah Boston, 18 points. Once again, some crazy shots you were putting up.
26 points from Caitlin Clark with 9 assists. Another 20-point performance from Kelsey Mitchell, extending her streak to 19 consecutive games with 20-plus points. And here's the detail everyone's missing. KK Arnold just dropped 20 points on 9 of 13 shooting with 7 rebounds. That's not a role player having a decent night. That's a rookie figuring out how to score efficiently alongside 2 dominant guards who demand constant defensive attention. The Fever shot 44% from the field, 25% from 3, and 74% from the free throw line. Those aren't spectacular numbers, but they took care of the basketball with only 9 turnovers against a team averaging 12 to 13 turnovers forced per game. They grabbed 10 offensive rebounds and generated 8 steals with 6 blocks. This was a complete team effort that went beyond just the big three putting up points. What's particularly interesting is how the offense evolved throughout the game. Early on, the ball movement was stagnant. Possessions were grinding to a halt with isolation plays that weren't generating quality looks. But as the game progressed, you saw the assist climb to 18 total team assists. Players were cutting harder, moving without the ball, and trusting each other to make the extra pass. That's growth. That's a team learning how to win close games in September, when playoff positioning is on the line.
Into it, y'all. Hit the like, hit the hype, hit the notification bell so y'all know when I drop it. Hit the sub button. I highly appreciate it. And let's get it, all right? As you can see already, man, now you know. Caitlin Clark putting up MVP numbers. Of course, she won't get that nod, though. She won't get that nod. And then look at my other backcourt member. 19 straight games with 20-plus points. Shout out to Kelsey Mitchell, man. Absolutely cooking. We cooking, baby. We cooking. Come on, man. Stop playing. And then KK with the tongue out. She was out there doing her dance. She was... She was jugging. All right, okay. Look at her, man. 95-91. As y'all can see, man, Kelsey Mitchell with the game-sealing lay. Let me make sure y'all can see this. I mean, that's just beautiful.
Now let's talk about what Caitlin Clark is actually doing on the court, because the highlights don't capture the full picture. She's not just scoring 26 points. She's scoring them efficiently from all 3 levels. The mid-range game has become absolutely lethal. She's pulling up from 15 feet with defenders draped all over her and hitting those shots at a rate that forces defenses to respect her everywhere on the floor. Watch how she's manipulating defenses now compared to June. In the early part of the season, she was hunting threes and driving to the rim. Effective but predictable. Now she's adding this mid-range dimension that completely changes the math for opposing defenses. You can't go under screens anymore because she'll pull up from 18 feet. You can't switch a big onto her because she'll blow by them. You can't double her at the three-point line because she's proven she'll find the open teammate for easy baskets. And those 9 assists, that's with 5 turnovers, which isn't ideal, but context matters here. She's operating as the primary ball handler against defensive schemes specifically designed to take the ball out of her hands. Atlanta was trapping her on pick and rolls, sending help defenders at her in transition, and forcing her to give up the ball early in possessions. The fact that she still generated 9 assists while facing that kind of defensive attention shows just how advanced her court vision has become.
Then look at Aaliyah Boston getting big. Alley-oop lay, gets it to KK, and KK just drops it in. Just drops it in, man. Look at this team moving the ball around. Now, in the early parts of the game, they were stagnant, man. I'm like, yo, y'all got to move this ball around. Let's get some good looks. Once again, they hurt my heart with Sophie and Lexi Hole, but KK did pick up the buckets. And then also the bench production. We need more bench production, dog. We need more bench production. Stephanie White, hey, pick up on Kelsey Mitchell getting killed out there. Come on now. Pick up on it earlier. You had Alicia Gray just going to work on her. Jackie Young going to work on her. You stop letting Kelsey Mitchell get beat on out here.
Kelsey Mitchell is putting together one of the most underrated scoring stretches in WNBA history, and nobody's talking about it. 19 straight games with 20+ points. Let that sink in for a second. 19 consecutive games. She's shooting 9 of 22 from the field in this particular game, which sounds inefficient until you realize she's taking the toughest shots on the floor because defenses are completely focused on stopping Caitlin Clark. Mitchell is getting hunted on defense. Atlanta ran Alicia Clark at her repeatedly in the post, trying to wear her down and get her in foul trouble. Jackie Young was attacking her off the dribble, using her size advantage to create mismatches. And despite all that defensive pressure, Mitchell still found a way to score 20 points and hit the dagger layup that sealed the game in the final minute. That coffin nail layup he's talking about in the clip, that wasn't a broken play or a lucky bounce. That was veteran execution under pressure, clock winding down, game on the line, defense completely locked in, and Mitchell calmly finishes through contact at the rim. Those are the plays that don't show up in the highlight reels, but absolutely determine who wins playoff games. The 2 of 4 shooting from 3-point range is actually encouraging because it shows she's being selective. She's not forcing threes just to pad stats. She's taking open looks when the defense gives them to her and attacking the rim when she sees driving lanes. That's intelligent basketball from a player who understands her role within this offense.
And everybody, she found me. She found me and I'm at home. All right, I'm like, yo, I know you in Atlanta, but how did the ball get here? I was like, dang, what the... Had the refs calling me and stuff, the commissioner calling me. I'm like, dang, man. Out here not knowing what the W is for in WNBA. Why you on my phone? I gotta stop. All right, I gotta chill. Hey, great game though, man. Let's look at another highlight. Caitlin, look at this, getting downhill, stepping through with the curse of lay. Come on, dog. Caitlin not playing around out here with these women. Look at this. Getting down here once again. Stops a dribble, finds Aaliyah Boston. Aaliyah Boston made Okot jump out of shoes and socks and then makes the bucket. Now, Aaliyah Boston was taking these type of shots, but she was missing a good amount of them. Those floaters where she was getting...
Aaliyah Boston had one of those nights where the stat line doesn't tell the complete story. 18 points on 6 of 16 shooting from the field. 0 of 4 from 3-point range. Those numbers look rough on paper, but she grabbed 14 rebounds, dished out 4 assists, recorded 5 steals, and blocked 3 shots. That's an absolutely dominant defensive performance from a player who's being asked to guard multiple positions and protect the rim simultaneously. The rebounding battle was crucial in this game. Atlanta was getting second chance opportunities early, grabbing 11 offensive rebounds and turning them into additional possessions. Angel Reese was boxing Boston out effectively, using her strength and positioning to create space for her teammates. And for stretches of the game, it looked like Boston was getting physically overwhelmed on the glass. But here's what changed in the second half. Boston started sealing her position earlier, establishing post position before the shot even went up. She was communicating with her teammates about where the ball was likely to come off the rim based on the shot angle. And most importantly, she was crashing the offensive glass herself, creating those second chance opportunities for Indiana that kept possessions alive when the initial offense broke down. Those 5 steals are absurd for a center. That's perimeter level theft numbers from someone who's primarily defending in the paint. She's reading passing lanes, anticipating where guards are trying to throw entry passes, and using her length to disrupt plays before they develop. The 3 blocks came at crucial moments too, erasing layup attempts that would have shifted momentum back to Atlanta. The shooting struggles are concerning, especially that 0 of 4 from 3. Boston needs to be a threat from beyond the arc to keep defenses honest. When she's bricking open threes, it allows defenders to sag off her and clog the paint for Caitlin and Kelsey's drives. But the overall impact on winning was undeniably positive, and that's what matters in September.
Level score. She done became the three level scorer. I ain't say the 3 level scorer that people need to pay attention to. Kelsey Mitchell knocking down a shot right here. Visine work, Ryan Howard, and they were snatching back, man. Snatching back. I said it in the live. I said, man, y'all know how parents be snatching up bad kids like this? No, I'm sorry. No, don't do me like that. That's what Kelsey and Caitlin was doing out there, man. Absolutely shaking and baking. Look at this. Straight in your eyeballs. Oh, my goodness, man. She did Sherrod so nasty. Did Pow Pow so nasty. Look, the last name of Pow Pow stands for Pow Pow for those ankles. All right, they were popping left and right. Pow, pow. I'm like, dang. Caitlin. Oh, my goodness. People go to jail for what Caitlin did to the Atlanta Dream out here. My goodness. Kelsey Mitchell, once again, Visine work. Visine work. Alicia Gray, like, I need more medicine in my goggles. I need more medicine. I can't see. Bang! Let me help you out. Look, at the half, they were down 4. I was like, oh, man, it's going to be one of those games. Look at this. Leaving Pow Pow in the dust. She just coughing on smoke. Look at her. Oh, my goodness. She got a grab. She's turned into a Mario. And touch. I hear grabbing. Look at this. I got to hold her waist, grab her jersey. I can't stop her. Oh, my goodness.
KK Arnold's performance deserves way more attention than it's getting. 20 points on 9 of 13 shooting, 7 rebounds, 1 block. This is a rookie who's been inconsistent all season, suddenly looking like she belongs on the floor with all-star caliber players. And the way she scored those points reveals something important about her development. She wasn't camping in the corner waiting for kickouts. She was cutting to the basket, crashing the offensive glass for putbacks, finishing alley-oops in traffic, and making smart decisions with the ball in her hands. That tip-in sequence where she grabbed the offensive rebound in mid-air and put it back up before landing? That's elite athleticism combined with high basketball IQ. Most rookies don't have the instincts to even attempt that play, let alone convert it. Caitlin Clark has been setting KK up for this moment all season. She's been feeding her easy looks, building her confidence, getting her comfortable operating in the flow of the offense, and now it's paying off at exactly the right time. The Fever need that third scoring option beyond Caitlin and Kelsey, someone who can punish defenses for overcommitting to the stars. KK is developing into that player right before our eyes. The tongue-out celebration, the confidence in her movement, the willingness to take big shots in crucial moments. This is a different player than the one we saw in June. She's not hesitating anymore. She's not second-guessing her decisions. She's playing with the kind of aggressive confidence that wins playoff games. And here's the key detail. She's doing this while sharing the floor with 2 ball-dominant guards. That's not easy. Most young players would get buried in that situation, standing in the corner watching Caitlin and Kelsey operate. But KK is finding ways to impact winning without needing plays called for her. She's reading the defense, making herself available, and capitalizing on the opportunities the offense creates. Compare this to how Mo would operate in the same situation. Mo's a pure scorer who needs the ball in her hands to be effective. She'd be fighting for touches with Caitlin and Kelsey, and someone's production would suffer. KK figured out how to thrive within the system, and that's a much more valuable skill for a team with championship aspirations.
This is just goated, dog. I mean, I don't know what's going on. She gets people out of that paint. She gets people out of that paint, man. She's too strong or something. I mean, dang. But scoring-wise, yeah, AB is getting a bucket almost every time on Angel Reach, period. Now, Kelsey Mitchell, 20 points for Kelsey Mitchell. 9 for 22 from the field, 2 for 4 from the 3. Probably the only one that shot really well from the 3 in this game. 1 rebound, 1 assist, 1 TO, and 1 steal for Kelsey Mitchell. Like I stated, she put the nail in the coffin with that leg. Great job. Lexi Hull, we have to figure out how to get Lexi Hull involved, man. This is what I've been talking about. All right, let me say it once again, because hopefully Stephanie White get a hold of this video. One of the players get a hold of this video, and they say, man, we got to listen to Izzy about this, man. When we're stagnant, Lexi Hull, I mean, I think she can really help with the 3 ball. She was 0 for 2, I understand, but shoot or shoot. Sometimes you start off slow and then you get hot. Kelsey Mitchell, she didn't start off hot. She started off cold and then turned up a little bit, right? So when we're stagnant, we have to find ways to get Lexi the ball, get her some good looks. And then, of course, Sophie Cunningham, 2 shots from the 3-point line. Speaking of Lexi, she took 3 attempts in the first quarter. That was it. Nothing else. Speaking of Sophie, when it comes to the 3 ball, she took 1 3 out of 3 quarters, and then in the 4th quarter, nothing. I mean, one last one.
The bench production is still a major concern, and it's something Stephanie White needs to address before the playoffs start. Lexi Hull went 1 of 3 from the field with 7 rebounds. Nalissa Smith scored 3 points on 2 attempts with 4 rebounds. Temi Fagbenley added 3 points and 2 rebounds. That's 9 total bench points in a game where the starters were getting gassed down the stretch. Hull's involvement is particularly frustrating because she's a capable 3-point shooter who could provide spacing for the offense. But she only attempted 3 shots the entire game, all of them in the first quarter. After that, she completely disappeared from the offensive game plan. That's a coaching issue. When your offense gets stagnant and you need someone to break the defense down with outside shooting, Hull should be getting touches. The same problem exists with Sophie Cunningham. 1 3-point attempt in 3 quarters, then nothing in the 4th quarter. You can't expect shooters to stay hot when they're taking 1 shot per quarter. They need rhythm. They need consistent opportunities to get into a flow, and the offense isn't creating those opportunities because everything runs through Caitlin and Kelsey. Smith's 3 points on 2 attempts is actually efficient production, but she needs to be more aggressive. She's got the size and athleticism to attack mismatches in the post, but she's deferring too much to the guards. When she gets post position against smaller defenders, she needs to demand the ball and go to work. That's how you keep defenses honest and prevent them from loading up on the perimeter. The rebounding from the bench was actually solid. 7 boards from Hull, 4 from Smith, 2 from Fagben. That's 13 total rebounds from reserves, which helped offset Atlanta's size advantage. But rebounding alone doesn't win games. You need scoring punch from your bench to survive those stretches when your starters are resting. Erica Wheeler got some minutes but didn't factor into the scoring. Damiris Dantas barely played. The rotation is incredibly tight right now, which makes sense for a team fighting for playoff position, but it also means there's no margin for error. If Caitlin or Kelsey gets into foul trouble, or if Aaliyah Boston needs a rest, the offense completely stalls out. That's a vulnerability that good teams will exploit in a playoff series.
25 and 74. At the beginning, they were not taking care of that free throw line. Take care of the free throw line, man. Take care of that free throw line, all right? You have to. But other than that, they didn't shoot that well from the 3-point line. That was hurting as well. We only scored off 18 assists. They usually average around 23, 24, so the ball wasn't moving as well at the beginning, but it did at the end. We took care of the ball very well. 9 turnovers. That's all we had in this one. The average is about 12 to 13, so yeah, great job tonight with that. We got 8 steals, 6 blocks, 10 O boards. We were cooking everywhere else, but we needed to handle Alicia Gray going to work on this. The double team should have came earlier. The zone should have came way earlier, but it is what it is. She dropped 32 on her heads. Ryan Howard had 17. Angel with 15 points. Okai with 8. Look, this is who we should have had. Okai, 8 points, 3 for 4 from the field, 7 boards, 1 assist, 1 TO, 1 steal, 2 blocks. This is why I said we should have drafted. I'm not going to let it go, y'all. I don't even know how Borlace was killing us like that. 10 points. I don't even know what was going on. They shot 35, 25, and 96. Main thing they were doing was taking care of the free throw line. 26 attempts, which is crazy work, by the way. Well, we had 23. All right. But 26 attempts. And they shot 96 from the free throw line. You take care of the free throw line, they take care of you, all right, in these close games. But y'all let me know how y'all felt about the game.
Now let's talk about what Atlanta did wrong, because this game was absolutely winnable for them, despite missing key players. Alicia Clark dropped 32 points on the Fever's head. 32. She was getting whatever she wanted in the paint, posting up smaller defenders, finishing through contact, and drawing fouls at will. Ryan Howard added 17 points. Angel Reese put up 15 points with her typical rebounding dominance. The problem was the coaching adjustment, or rather, the lack of one from Atlanta's perspective. Clark was destroying Indiana's man-to-man defense for 3 quarters. She was backing down Kelsey Mitchell in the post, using her size advantage to create easy looks at the rim. And Stephanie White kept letting it happen, kept sending Mitchell out there to get cooked by a player who had 4 inches and 30 pounds on her. But then White finally made the adjustment everyone watching the game was screaming for. She switched to a zone defense, and suddenly Clark couldn't operate. The passing lanes were clogged. The help defense was rotating properly. The easy post entries weren't there anymore. And Atlanta didn't have a counter. They didn't adjust their offensive scheme to attack the zone. They just kept trying to force the same plays that had worked in man-to-man, and the Fever defense shut them down. Jackie Young had a solid game, but she wasn't aggressive enough taking advantage of the mismatches. When you're facing a team missing defensive rotations and struggling to contain penetration, you attack. You put pressure on the rim, you draw fouls, you force the defense to collapse and then kick out to shooters. Atlanta didn't do that consistently enough. The free throw disparity tells part of the story. Atlanta attempted 26 free throws and made 25 of them, shooting 96% from the line. Indiana only attempted 23 free throws. That's a close enough margin that it didn't determine the outcome, but it shows Atlanta was getting to the rim and drawing contact. They just weren't doing it consistently enough in the fourth quarter when the game was on the line. Angel Reese's rebounding was impressive as always, but her scoring efficiency was poor. She's grabbing boards and creating second chance opportunities, but she's not converting those opportunities into points at a high enough rate. Against a team like Indiana that's vulnerable on the glass, Reese should have been the difference maker. Instead, she let Boston match her impact with superior defense and more efficient scoring. The bench production for Atlanta was actually worse than Indiana's. Nia Coffey scored 10 points, but beyond that, nobody else provided meaningful offensive contributions. When your starters are carrying the entire offensive load and they run out of gas in the fourth quarter, that's when games slip away, and that's exactly what happened here. So here's what this win actually means for Indiana moving forward. They're now firmly in playoff position with just a few games remaining in the regular season. The chemistry between Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell is reaching elite levels. These two have figured out how to coexist in the same backcourt, how to take turns dominating possessions, how to set each other up for success without stepping on each other's toes. KK Arnold's emergence as a legitimate third scoring option changes the entire dynamic of this offense. Defenses can't just load up on Caitlin and Kelsey anymore. They have to respect Arnold's ability to hurt them, which creates more space for the stars to operate. That's the kind of depth you need to make a deep playoff run. Aaliyah Boston's defensive versatility is becoming increasingly important. Her ability to guard multiple positions, protect the rim, and disrupt passing lanes makes Indiana's defense significantly more dangerous. Even on nights when her shot isn't falling, she's impacting winning through her defensive presence and rebounding. But the concerns are real and they're not going away. The bench scoring is anemic, the three-point shooting is inconsistent, the defensive rotations still break down against elite offensive teams, and the coaching staff is still making adjustments too slowly, waiting until opponents have built comfortable leads before switching defensive schemes. Stephanie White needs to be more proactive with her adjustments. The zone defense that shut down Alicia Clark in the fourth quarter should have been deployed in the second quarter when Clark was just starting to heat up. The rotation changes that got KK Arnold more involved should have happened earlier in the season when it was clear she had the talent to contribute. The offensive sets designed to get Lexi Hull open looks from three should be run more frequently when the offense gets stagnant.